Welcome back to Blueprint Bootcamp Tournament Edition. Today we're going to be doing drawing number 21, the pipe plate, so stay tuned. Alright, so today on Blueprint Bootcamp Tournament Edition, we are going to be doing drawing number 21, the pipe plate. It's kind of looking like a flange looking deal, so let's switch on over into Onshape and we will look at our drawing. Again, I have this PDF in my actual Onshape document. If you look down here, I have my Part Studio and I have our PDF document. Again, I think a lot of people forget that you can actually put different types of documents inside of a Onshape file or document, where most of our stuff gets done in a Part Studio, but you can add other supplemental images and PDF files to refer back to, and it's kind of a cool way to keep everything all together in one. So let's go ahead and get started here. So if we look at our units, today we're going to be drawing in inches, pounds, and seconds. Material is going to be plain carbon steel. It's a tier 3 part, and it's going to be our pipe plate. Typically in industry, you might call this like a flange, or it might be like a mounting plate of some sort, but essentially what I see is some, look here, we have a multi-stepped section for a pipe to fit in, maybe two pipes. It's going to be some sort of an alignment plate, and then over here we're going to have some counterbore holes. So if we look from the top view, we have a nice view of this. It's a 4-inch diameter circle with some counterbore holes spaced evenly, 6 holes around a 3-inch diameter kind of alignment or guided, what am I saying? Construction line. There we go. Construction line holes. So we'll go ahead and draw that. And if we look at a cross section of this, that hole in the center, this can be kind of misleading on this view, because it looks here like we have a 1.25 through hole, which we do, but this is actually the bottom side. And if we look at it from the top, like in our view here, and through this cross section, you'll see that we actually have some multi-stepped parts here. So I'm going to show you two different ways to draw this today. One of them being traditional, just extrude, extrude, extrude. The other one we're going to do, and we're going to draw from this view, and we're going to actually do a revolve, and then we'll add our holes later. So we will do our hole tool to do these holes today as well. And if we take a look at this drawing up here, again, the thickness is going to be 1.25 with some multiple stepped bores in there. So let's switch on over into our Part Studio and let's get started. All right, so for this first view, we're actually going to draw it from the top down. So let's start with a sketch on the top plane. So we'll do Shift and S and to normalize and P to hide those planes. I'm going to start with a circle, center point circle off my origin, and that needs to be 4 inches in diameter. And next step, I'm going to draw another circle without escaping. So I'm still in that circle command. That's going to be 1.25. So we have that center all the way through. I'm going to draw another one that is 1.75. And again, one more that is 2.25. And we have our spot. So I have my shape here. I'm going to press Shift and E to extrude. And I want to select everything except for that center 125, because that's the one that's going to go all the way through. And we'll change our depth to 1.25 inches. And what I like to do, a little quick trick, is instead of having to flip this view around, what I'm going to do is actually swap that and accept it to where now I can come and turn my sketch back on. We'll look at this from that view, and I can still access these. So next step is we're going to look at our drawing, and it says that our biggest hole, the 225, this one will extrude, needs to only go down half an inch, so 0.5. So we'll change this depth to 0.5, enter, we'll change that to a remove, and we'll say accept. Our next piece will say Shift E, and we got to do a little bit of math. It's 0.5 plus 0.25, real quick math, 0.75, remove, and we'll say okay. And now you'll see we have that step there, and our sketch being on the top that way allowed us to do that without having to flip the whole thing around. So next step, we're going to go to the bottom, select Shift and S, and to normalize. And now we're going to draw just a simple circle. But before I click again, I'm going to press the letter Q to turn it to construction. And I'm going to make that 3 inches. Next up, I'm going to press Shift and S. I know that normally starts a sketch, but for us in a sketch already, that'll add a point for us. So I'm going to put a point right above the origin right there. And now I want to do a circular pattern. So I'll select that hole or that point, change that to 6. And now I have my 6 even spots where those are going to go, alignment for that hole pattern. So I'll click my hole tool now. And what's cool is I can select kind of everything and then unselect my vertex. Oh, I got a little carried away because it went there. So we'll go, I don't want that anymore. Got a little carried away selecting stuff. So we can make your window to where it'll select those points. I'm going to come over here. That needs to turn into a 0.375 wide, 0.75 for our counterbore, and it needs to go down 0.25, which I already have. We'll say accept, and I have my final shape. So next step, right click, assign material, our custom materials library, and this is made out of plain carbon steel. We'll say accept. Come over here, check our weight, and I get 3.15 pounds, which is the correct answer, with a tolerance of plus or minus 0.01 pounds. You can have anywhere from 3.14 all the way up to 3.16 pounds, which is pretty fitting because there's a lot of circles in this thing. So 3.14, it's a number that's it's probably stuck with you since 6th grade. But the correct answer right in the middle is going to be 3.15 pounds. So we'll use that as our reference to show you the other way to draw this. So I have this one here. I'm actually going to start a new part studio. Same thing, inches, pounds. We don't need to change any units. But this time I'm going to draw it from the front plane, actually from the right plane. Shift and S on the right plane and to normalize. And what I want to do is draw a line, so L for line, and then change it to a construction line. And I'll have this center line right here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to draw like a stair shape, kind of up, over, up, over, up, over, tie onto here, down, and over. So I don't have any dimensions here, but if you looked at this drawing, we know that this needs to be 1.25 tall. We know that from here, and this is why we do a construction line from here to here. If I go over, it needs to be 4, and you'll see I get that. It'll give me both halves, so I can do from here to here, and it'll give me just a measurement here. But if I cross my mouse over that center line, I know that this part here needs to be 1.25. We can do the same thing here. Click over 1.75, and here over 2.25. Okay, now I'm going to do my dimension here. So again, we know this needs to be 0.5, and I know this needs to be from there to there is 0.25. And now I have my overall shape without my counterbore holes. Notice the whole thing is black. Shift W does your revolve. I'll select my revolve axis right here, and we get the same idea. So I'll flip to the bottom, Shift and S on the bottom, a circle of 3. Again, if you wanted to change that to construction line and you didn't do it the first time, you can select that line and then press Q. I'm going to do a point right here, And I'm going to show you another way. I can do that whole tool once, 0.75, 0.25, and 0.375 there, 0.75, 0.25. Cool. So I have my one, but now I can do the circular pattern on the feature, and that feature being the hole. And I can select like so, 6 copies as well. So you can pattern from the 2D view or the 3D view. We'll go ahead and check our assigned material from our custom library, plain carbon steel, accept, click that weight, and we get 3.15 as well. So alrighty, so now to check this thing, we are going to throw it into an assembly view. But before we do that, I want to select this whole deal and let's make it a different color. The appearance panel, let's make it orange so we can see. So Part Studio 1 is going to be that typical blue. Part Studio 2 is going to be orange. We go into our assembly and we insert them together. Part Studio 1, Part Studio 2. You will see that 2 is on top because we revolved it around the top axis. Part Studio 1 is on the bottom because we flipped it when we did that extrude. So what we need to do is get them to be in the same plane because they're not quite in the same orientation. So what we could do is we could take this and kind of rotate it. Again, if we did some simple math, 360 divided by 6, because of how many holes we have, we'll rotate that 60 degrees. Actually, we only need to rotate that 30 degrees because there we go. We're half of that. So now if we were to place these in the same spot, I want this bottom face to also be matched with that bottom face. With the fasten mate, there's 1 and 2. And if we rotate it, you will see that they exist perfectly in the same spot. That's where you're getting all that zebra pattern from, because they all exist in one spot. So I'm going to make Part Studio 2 just a little bit bigger to show kind of what happens if they're not. So let's make this, we'll go a little smaller, I guess. We'll go 5. I'll do 425. Make it a little bit bigger. Everything else is still the same. We go back to our assembly and you'll see that only the parts that exist in the same spot are going to be like that zebra pattern. Everywhere else is going to be solid. So while everything else lines up, because that's too much bigger, that's what we're getting. So we drew it exactly the same, 2 different ways to get there, but essentially you get the same part. Kind of good thing, like I said, when you first start drafting, learn different ways to kind of do this. You know, there's whatever you're comfortable with. If you do a lot of revolves all day, this is probably a good way to do it. You might be faster, although I know it's a lot more clicking. You can get a lot more done in that extrude, especially if you use that multi-extrude custom feature that I showed you guys a couple weeks back. But yeah, this is the kind of way to do things. You figure out what works best for you. So that's going to do it for us this week. Hope you guys are having a good time. We are currently out for summer. It is our county fair, so we are rocking and rolling. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to start another series. I'm thinking about possibly doing some like summer work, quote unquote summer work, refresher type things. So while you guys are off, teachers and students alike, let me know what you would want to learn or get better at over this summer vacation. Or if you don't get summer vacation because you work in the real world, what are some skills you'd like to brush up on? So that's going to do it for us this week. Hope you guys have fun and take care. See you later.